Alright, so everybody's bitching and moaning about I take that back. Not everybody's bitching and moaning about it. But an article came out, bitching and moaning, about Seth MacFarlane's misogyny in his Oscar performance. And I sighed. And the reason I sighed was because racism, misogyny, I'm not sure people actually understand the meanings of those terms. It isn't automatically misogyny if you make fun of a woman, just like it's not automatically racism if you make fun of a black guy. There has to be a little bit more to it. It's like trying to explain irony to people. It isn't just a coincidence, there has to be a little bit more to it. And whereas I understand subtleties of misogyny and racism and undercurrents and so forth, I'm not saying that doesn't happen. Joe Wilson saying "you lie" to President Obama, the disrespect shown at that time, in that moment, you start to run out of adjectives other than it had something to do with race because Obama hadn't even done anything yet when that had happened. So you can start to see that that person who said it was thinking he was better than, when clearly he's not. That guy was the president, you're just a senator. So it falls a little bit on deaf ears when, Seth MacFarlane comes out and says something like, "We saw your boobs, we saw your boobs," and you consider that misogynist. Because the truth is, in 2013, that's kind of a slam at men. Men are actually handing you their weakness. We're dipshits. Look at us. We're parading on stage talking about boobs. That's how far we've progressed in the past 1,000 years. And the women with boobs that are smart go, "Yep, sucks to be you guys. We're running the production company now." So it was with great pleasure that when I jumped on Facebook, I happened to have some Facebook friends that were angry about this article. Going, "God damn it, will you shut up already about this? It's not misogyny to be made fun of." And on this, this will be this thread side. So I'm on this thread, and it's amazing all the stuff that these strong, successful women. One of the women worked for Family Guy, saying, "Just because you have a vagina doesn't mean you're entitled to not be made fun of. Shut up. Everybody gets made fun of." And that was the other point about the whole he's being misogynist. The point of that night, the past 10 to 15 years, the point of that night has been to poke fun at Hollywood itself. Gave shit to George Clooney, gave shit to women puking to fit into their dresses. It's not misogynistic, fucking true. It's not saying that men are better than women. You think men aren't puking to get into those suits? Of course they fucking are. Yeah, it's Hollywood. It's not a man-woman thing. Equality means you kind of get shit on no matter what. And I think everybody's starting to figure that out now as the past 30 years have turned into different minority groups getting further and further along. They're finding that what they thought was the white man privilege, which is still alive and well, it's not as privileged as you might have thought. And all that jumping ahead or even jumping equal to, all that's done is made the shit spread equally. And I actually typed in this thread, I said thank you to the two women that were going back and forth and bemoaning this article. Thank you, because that's what's going to inspire Vienna. The point is, stop whining, win. This is the golden era for everybody but the white male. Being equal doesn't mean you never have to fight again. It means that the other guy has to fight a little bit now too. That's all that equality is going to mean. You can't get rid of the isms. You can't get rid of assholes. So I was feeling good about the day. I'm like, cool. These are some strong, cool women. Vienna's going to enter a pretty awesome world. Rock on. And then over here, there's somebody putting the same article up, agreeing and being angry. Angry, angry, angry. Oh, the misogyny was horrible and this, and keeping women down, and blah, blah, blah. And I couldn't help it. And I jumped in the thread. This is very stupid because of the fact that I have a penis. Very stupid. Very stupid to even try. Had the women from this thread jumped over into this thread, maybe we could have had some discourse. But it didn't matter what I said because of this. Nothing mattered. But I tried. And I said, from my experience in Hollywood, women run Hollywood. They run every facet of it. When I was at CBS, the person that approved all my scripts was a woman. The producer I worked with, basically my boss, in New York, she was a woman. My manager was a woman. The head of late night in LA, Dorian Hanaway, can't remember her name anymore, it's been so long, but she was a woman. It isn't even considered strange anymore. And my producer in LA, he was a gay man. And then he was often replaced by a black gay man. And like the white straight male was the minority. And nobody gave a shit. You're just doing your job. And I guarantee you ask all of those women and all those people in all of those places, they usually say the same thing, which is you can sit and bitch about any perceived inequality you find, or you can just win. It's a choice. And jobs I've had outside the industry, it's kind of the same thing. I worked for a branding company. There were 3 women that owned it and ran it. They were the CEO, the LAO, they were every goddamn antonym. Antonym is the opposite of. Acronym. They were every acronym you could find in any business. The building lady came in. There were like 7 women that worked there and me. I worked at a chiropractor's office. She was a woman. All the masseuses were women. The building lady there was a woman. And that was the point I was trying to get across in this thread, was that it's all an attitude, okay? And you can't call misogyny at everything. And in fact, we are now getting to the point where we're doing what happened, say, in the early 70s when Archie Bunker became a character on TV. And he was racist, lead character, and stupid. And minorities were up in arms. Oh my God, I can't believe you had this on TV. And what they did not realize at the moment was racist people were now buffoons. And in the same way, if you are misogynist in Hollywood, you're not going to get very far because there's so many people around you that work with you, above you, below you, in every facet that are women. You're not going to make it very far. And that's why in 2013, the We Saw Your Boob song wasn't really misogynistic. But oh my God, boy, did they go off on me. They said I was being condescending to them. Like, how is that condescending? I actually believe this. If you just switch your attitude a little bit, you can rule the world. Specifically because men like to look at your boobs. You've got that going for you. Like, use it. Stop bitching. Use it. It'd be like not understanding that Archie Bunker was a huge shift in pop culture. And that is what shifted us into knowing that that was wrong. Without All in the Family, there wasn't Cosby Show. But without the Cosby Show, there weren't the Obamas. We needed every single part of those things to move ahead. And we're in one of those areas now. It's to the point now where when you say something so overtly goofy as pointing out women's boobs, it's the opposite effect. And the other thing that frustrates me about this is that Seth MacFarlane made fun of everybody. That's the whole point. It's like the women bitching about Daniel Tosh being misogynistic. Really? Really? He makes fun of every single possible thing he can ever make fun of. He makes fun of himself constantly. He just makes fun of everything. And the biggest point of all of this is women write the jokes. You think there wasn't a woman writer involved in the Oscars? There are women writers on Daniel Tosh's comedy crew. So anyway, I get lambasted in this thread. And then I run over to this thread and I'm like, hey, can somebody help me over here? And then I went over here and I was like, they're going to help me. Because I can't say I got the penis, I can't do it. And they're like, well, we're not even going to listen to a woman. Oh, so it's just like, oh, I have a black friend so I can be racist. Oh, I have a woman who's going to agree with me so I can be misogynist. Like, I give up. That was going to be the end of it. There wasn't going to even be a video and all this. But something amazing happened in this thread that I didn't see coming. Another guy jumps on and he says, don't get mad at me. I just want to ask this question. When is it okay to poke fun at women the way we poke fun at men? Don't get mad. Just what? And they were very respectful of him. Oh, well, you can da-da-da-da-da. And that was the moment that I realized the real misogyny was that dude who felt like he had to tiptoe an eggshell around the crazy irrational women and ask them a very normal question. Because you ask that kind of question, that kind of way to these women, they'll be like, hey, fuck you. You don't have to tiptoe around me. Treat me as an equal. God. These women made it happen by getting up in arms and being outraged about something that wasn't actually there. It forced men, other than me, who did treat them as an equal, that made them angry. he had to tiptoe around them. Oh, don't get mad at me, but... And that's what they responded to, not even realizing that there was the condescension. Stop doing that, please. Stop showing outrage at shit that isn't what you're saying it is, because it makes men treat you like you're crazy. And you're not even noticing he's treating you like you're crazy. Today's feminism is not yesterday's feminism. And we saw this happen in 2008 with Obama and the old guard. If you remember, and it's actually hard to remember now because it passed so quickly and happened so quickly, Jesse Jackson and the old guard were on Obama's nuts about everything, demanding he do it the way they tried to do it. And other than the Reverend Wright issue, completely ignored race. And he won. He got elected twice. And then Jesse went, and that was the point. That's how that transition had to happen. And the women that are making the transition happen are doing that right now. And the old guard that are picking at every possible thing that could even faintly be construed as misogyny, they're holding back the women that are like, I'm not only equal to, I'm better than, and I'm gonna run the place. How did Tina Fey and Amy Poehler not only take over Saturday Night Live, but take over the comedy world? Because instead of constantly bitching about what was unfair, and believe me, there's no bigger boys club than Saturday Night Live, they just won. I guarantee you they didn't watch Seth MacFarlane's thing and bitch about misogyny. I guarantee you. They said, we're gonna do it better next year. Felt I need to rant. Last day of February I needed an entry. And my kid turns 5 months today. 5 months. Where does the time go? 5 months. Hallelujah, holy shit. God, what a cunt.